Clayface is getting a movie. Kraven stinking up the joint. And no, that was not Cillian Murphy in that trailer like everybody thought it was. We have a lot to talk about today. A lot to talk about. So, Brett Sheridan did what Brett Sheridan does best. He worked as hard as he could and then forgot he was supposed to be on this show. So it's me and Steph today. Once again, can Steph come back to beat two Schmodown legends? We will find out in just a moment. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. It's the Kristian Harloff Show. It's me and Steph. Let's do it. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday, and joining me as always on Thursday is my good friend Steph Sabra. Hello, Steph.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. I want to win today.
Do you want to know what happened this week thus far?
Yes.
Right.
What's the tea?
So starting, Roca came out strong like he always does on Monday at 62. Roxy said, no, I will not be denied. I won last week. I'm going to win again. So she did 65. But I had Sam Levine and Clark Wolf on yesterday.
Oh.
And they did 70. 70 is beatable.
Okay, we can do this.
You can do 70.
Brett left me hanging.
He did.
It's just me and Kristian. Let's go.
And I only say this to you because we have this kind of relationship. You've got to be able to do better than you did last week.
Oh, yep.
But what's this I hear about you going to the dark side last night? What happened?
What'd I do?
I don't know. Somebody said you went to the dark side. Was it on the World Girls or something?
Oh, yeah, I was pretty intense last night. I was pretty
livid.
I was pretty livid. I'm super protective of my sister, and there was some like so rare to have drama in your 30s, but it's not even drama. It's just like something I picked up on, and I'm like, why I oughta.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
And then something else happened. Oh, we were just going through the comments for Roxy, the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, and he was making you firing you up.
They hated her, and for me, the Transformers people hate me.
Yeah, well, they're stupid then.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's stupid. All right. Before we get into our topics today, I got to ask you: have you been paying attention to all this stuff happening with the New Jersey drones?
No.
So crazy that this is not a national story. So, and this has nothing to do with whether or not you think it's aliens or whatever the hell it is. There have been multiple sightings over the last week or so over New Jersey, these drones the size of cars. And they've been everywhere. Everyone's been citing them. The mayor of New Jersey came out, spoke about it, said he's been in touch with national security, he's been in touch with Homeland Security, he's been in touch with everybody, and it's been like the whole thing. There's been multiple meetings throughout, a whole bunch of people talking about it. So my thought process is it's one of two things. It's either the military testing out stuff to eventually send these types of drones into, other foreign neighborhoods if we need to use them and testing out stuff here. Or the worst part is if it's a foreign government that is able to infiltrate and have these things blasting around. There was this one Republican said that there was it was coming from an Iranian mothership, these drones. And so the Pentagon responded to it yesterday. Their official word, Steph, was that it is not foreign, and nothing we have concluded is not foreign, and it is not U.S. military. And they did not follow up with what it is. They've no clue what it is. And
so are they saying it's a random citizen?
They're not saying anything. And then people are continuously asking what it is, and there's no answers to it. And they're everywhere. Just type in right now where you are, type in New Jersey drones and what pops up. I bet you a shit ton of articles. It is actually being covered a lot. I'm surprised. Like a lot of people don't know. Yeah, it's everywhere. And I'm so it's this.
What the heck?
And it's the size of a car. And like, what drone do you know that is the size of a car?
What do you think it is?
As of 24 hours ago, I thought it was the U.S. testing out military stuff. Now, I've gotten comments. I put a video out on my UFO channel about it. I've gotten comments like, well, if you believed it then, why do you just believe what the government tells you? And I don't. But the thing is, that's a pretty bull-faced lie to say. It's one thing to go, hey, look, there's things right now that we're aware of what this is, and the government has a good eye on it. That's not admitting that you're working on stuff, but it's also not definitively saying that it's not.
Right.
Definitively saying that it's not means that you can never prove that it is because you're a freaking liar. Now, people are going to go, well, when does that stop the government for? This is different. This is different when you've been asked about this. The thing that I feel is, if they can definitively say it's not foreign, and if they can definitively say that it's not U.S., well, then they definitively know what it is. They're just not telling us.
Huh.
Right?
I guess. I think they know what it is.
Yeah,
they have to.
They have to.
That makes no sense, because it's not like they're hiding. They're there in plain sight. So they have had to have been able to have eyes on it from a higher view, a different view, and just I bet they have like insane.
There's video. This one I'm probably going to cover that next. There's a video of this guy. They called a meeting, and they had these senators and other people drive up to have this meeting about what these things are. And the guy they interviewed this guy on News Nation, and I don't know who he is. And he comes out and he goes, I left the meeting. He goes, they had no answers. He said they called us in here and they have no answers. They said that one of the guys said there was a helicopter following it, but they stopped following it because they felt that the helicopter was in danger, so they stopped. And he's like, what kind of answer is that? He's like, you're not following it, so we don't know where it went. Nobody knows. The FBI says they don't know what it is. Yeah, the FBI doesn't know what it is? That's a problem. That's a problem. How is our airspace so compromised that we don't know what it is?
Are you close enough to see it?
So I was on my show on Tuesday with Attack Peter, and on Sunday I went to get food for Sadie and the girls. And when I was driving on the highway, I could have sworn that I saw something in like my peripheral and I couldn't really. It was like hovering, and it definitely wasn't a plane, and it was hovering. So I was like, I'm like wrenching my neck. I don't want to get in a car accident. So yesterday, for people who are aware of the UFO topic and aren't, there's a very prolific UFO filmmaker, and his name's James Fox, and he's made some really big documentaries before. And he's doing another document. He's doing it this 5 days, and it's called The Program. And this documentary is about the program of reverse engineering and all these different things. This guy's been following this for years. And so I asked him what he thought about it. And the reason why he's on the fence with it being anything except drone type technology is the same reason that I initially was. And it's that it's been reported that these things are making a lot of noise when they're flying by. Every report of any type of UFO that has been documented from Air Force pilots and other things too, there's no sound coming out of these things. So I don't know. What everyone can believe, whether you're listening to this or not. This isn't one of those things where it's like, yeah, right, nobody's seeing these things. Everyone is seeing these things.
Yeah.
Like this yeah, it's just the question for this one is, what is it?
Right. I would be flipped out if I lived in that city, because I feel like drones are the scariest use of warfare, because you don't have to do anything. You could just like drop off gases or air.
And imagine if a foreign government, what you just said, a foreign government that had one the size of a car and multiple ones, and we don't know what it is. Come on.
You should you need to figure that out in minutes. Like, what's the job? They should put me in. I would, they flew me up, I would get the answers.
You would, especially if you go into how you were all riled up last night.
Yeah, just drop me off. I'm ready. I'm fired up.
And the drones,
I'm ready.
The drones would see you and just crash into the ocean. They wouldn't want to deal with it.
Right, and being super mixed, I feel like no matter what country it is, I feel like I can find a common.
Yeah, be quiet, old master.
Commonality.
Yeah. Old Mr. Chris, be quiet. It's like, why are we talking about this movie show? No, it's the Kristian Harloff show. Talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. You can go.
This is a movie. It's called Our Real Life.
I know. Go somewhere else. Nonsense. I hate. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. Why are we talking about this movie show? No one ever said that. No one ever said that. I talk about movies a lot. Talk about TV shows a lot. But that's it. And this time, I don't think that I'm going after somebody in the comments that doesn't deserve it. Be quiet. That's what we're talking about right now.
Oh yeah, I remember last year.
I did it. I did it to a news reporter, and I did it to somebody else. So, but yeah, just be quiet. You'll get to your Clayface story. Just shut your ass for a little bit. It's like, you know what I mean? Go make a sandwich and come back, or pause it. Stop making. Just shush. And it almost makes me want to start talking about horses.
Yeah.
Let's talk about horses now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what's your favorite color horse?
I like a brown Arabian horse.
Perfect. I always like the black
hair.
Right. So we're gonna.
Yep.
So this is now a horse show because that's what I want to talk about right now. And I bought a sandwich. I want to talk about my favorite sandwich.
Did you get a sandwich?
I did. I got a sandwich.
Is it the Italian one?
Yeah, I went to that Italian place and I got some meatballs too. And it was good.
Oh, nice. Treat yourself Thursday.
Yep. And we should talk about baseball. Talk about 100 different things.
Well, I know everything about baseball, so.
Good. Why are we talking about this stuff? Because I want to. That's why. That's the answer.
Why do you think Kristian left every network in LA?
Right. Right. Because I can talk about whatever I want to.
He clearly doesn't want to be told what to talk about.
No, and not by some guy with a fake username in the comments section. It's like, give me a break. It's like, what are you, brand new to this show? Why are we talking about this? I thought this was a movie show. No, you thought wrong. There's another movie show on in like an hour. Watch that one. It's good.
Yeah, we got range here.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about Campy Show. Campy Show's great, but it's a movie-based show. It's not this show.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just saying this show has...
Yeah, we talk about more. We talk about more stuff. Anyway.
I didn't know Campia was back on his show.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a while.
Okay,
one of the few people that actually gave me and Snyder credit for the Jeremy Allen White story that we broke about him as Rhoda the Hutt in Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh, I didn't know you guys broke that.
Exactly. That's
so
because Deadline and Variety, they're leeches. They're leeches. They take other people's stories and they run with it. That's what they always do.
That's so bizarre. I don't get people.
I shouldn't say all of them. Some of them, if you looked, did put Snyder's name. None of them put mine, but they put Snyder's name. It is what it is. Anyway, so let's get we'll get this guy happy for a second. We'll report it. We'll talk about this story, and that is that DC Studios. It looks like it's greenlighting the Clayface movie. The Clayface movie is coming out. It's official. DC Studios has handed out a green light to a live-action feature film about Batman villain Clayface over at Warner Brothers Pictures, reports Variety. News of the project first emerged in March last year, suggesting that the beloved genre filmmaker Mike Flanagan from Dr. Sleep, Haunting on Hill House, had pitched DC bosses James Gunn and Peter Safran a feature film about the character. At the same time, it was said to be a standalone tragedy-laced horror thriller project. More recently, it was rumored that Flanagan had completed the script and shooting was scheduled for next spring. Those rumors have now been confirmed. As previously reported, Flanagan is committed to directing his new The Exorcist film and developing a Carrey TV series for Amazon MGM Studios, so won't be directing the Clayface movie. The trade today indicates that an announcement about who is helming the project is imminent, which suggests they found someone. It's not clear at present if the character will be part of the DCU as an Elseworld-style project. Clayface is most known via Ron Perlman's performance in 1990's Batman the Animated Series, but has appeared in other works, including an appearance in the recent DCU animated series Creature Commandos, along with being a regular character on Max's Harley Quinn series. All right, Steph, so I don't know enough about Clayface, but I will know, Mike Flanagan not directing, I thought he was directing it, but the fact that he's writing and being part of it is a good sign, and it also means that he pitched it, Gunn and Safran liked what he pitched. Will it be an Elseworlds thing? Will it tie in? I mean, there's a lot of questions to be answered once we find out exactly what this movie is. But what do you think?
Right, because I liked Clayface because I recently watched the Batman '89 series. Okay. So I'm a little bit more, I really liked that villain. But I am curious how they're going to make him look in live action, and that I always think it's a little bit tricky. Not that it's impossible. I love Planet of the Apes to have, a CGI main character. It just, I know that causes a lot of craze sometimes within people, and sometimes they don't look good. So that's one thing that I'm thinking about. But the story itself and Mike Flanagan writing it, I think is a really cool coming together of like random, like his work is so not based in fantasy superhero, and it's supernatural, so I guess it's like a brother. But that's exciting. Not directing it though, I wish he was, just because he's such a great horror thriller director. But there are so many, like I feel like Jordan Peele could be a really cool pick for this. But I am curious on the origin story they're going with, because I read up a little bit about it. I forget exactly what happened in Batman 89 or if we ever knew the origin, but I know that there's one spin where I think the Penguin gives him a magical clay, and that's what happened. So I wonder if they connect Penguin with him, and if it's not elsewhere, if maybe there's the connection there. And then, but I don't think that he would be in the Batman Matt Reeves movie, so I don't know. What?
I think old Mr. Chris was being sarcastic before.
No!
I think.
No!
I can't tell.
Kristian!
I went back and I saw like a little face that he made. And I think he was being sarcastic.
Look how red Kristian is.
I feel so bad. I did it again. I think I did it again. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know where he's run off.
Chris, if you were joking or being facetious, Kristian, sorry.
But if you're not, eat a dick.
Yeah. If you're not, you've got a joke today, okay?
I know.
But come back tomorrow.
No, I feel
but
like
if you were joking, you're in the clear.
You're in
the
clear.
Fam.
You're in the clear. I feel like he was, because I recognize that name, and I always have like a register of like, I always remember old Mr. Chris being a nice guy, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, there's a little face at the end of it. Oh, whatever, who cares?
Damn it, Kristian.
I know.
East Coast living.
Yeah.
This is my favorite version of Kristian Harloff. I've got to say, he is like way more spicy, way spicier.
Well, it's less. I think it's less spicy, and just like I've given up the will to care about.
Okay.
About.
So it's just like unveiling the truth.
I think that it's just maybe it's as getting older and stuff too. Maybe moving out of the bubble of LA stuff too. Is like I can't worry about what people think.
That's one thing I love about the East Coast.
Yeah, look, I didn't really ever care too much, but I was always aware, and now I don't care, even if I am aware, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really beautiful thing, truly, because West Coast has this all like consuming Catholic guilt. I feel like when we're interacting with people, and at least me, I feel like I have to constantly accommodate people's comfort.
Yeah.
And East Coast people, they just they don't take offense to people being rude to them, and then they're not rude, but they're just very matter of fact.
Yeah. That's my wife the other day. She called up, it was like CVS or something, and we were trying to get something over there, and the New York guy was just like, yeah, hold on, let me check in the back. What do you need? And he wasn't being rude at all. He's just like, okay, I got a lot of people in the store. I can help you out, whatever you need. I'm gonna help you, but like, let's go. What do you need? Let's move it. Let's do it. But he was never once. Because I said to my wife, I was like, yeah, you don't find that in LA. She's like, no, in LA, they're just assholes. She's like, this guy wasn't even an asshole. He just was like, what do you want? Let's move. Don't keep me on the phone. Go, go, go. And yeah. And it's like the same thing. But anyway, back to Clayface.
Back to Clayface. Yeah, I was like, what did I say that was funny?
I know.
And then you were bright red.
No, I know. It was one of those, I just feel bad if it was, but I don't know. I haven't heard. Old Mr. Chris took off again. Between him and Lady Hotep, they started their own channel, just making bashing videos of me, rightfully so. So remember Lady Hotep? I think that was the one that was last week. It was Lady Hotep.
That's great.
She's gone. Okay, so I like the variety in what DC is doing already, though.
Yeah,
I like, because it's different where. Look, to be fair to Marvel has taken people and said, we want to make like these kind of genre movies inside of our universe, right? But there's only so much that they can really do before they hit like that Disney. That's a little too much. Mm-hmm. Clearly, with Creature Commandos, that is not the case with DC.
Oh my God, it's like straight sex.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so
I love the show.
You do? Okay, good. Yeah,
I love it.
Good, it's great.
Harry was like, "What's that?" And he's like, thought I was watching porn for a second. I was like, "It's the new DC show." And he's like, and then when he sat down, he's like, "This is awesome." I was like, "Yeah,
it's a lot of fun." And then you're gonna have to keep some of it PG-13, right? And I wonder, because obviously Superman's gonna be PG-13, and then I wonder, like, when they do movies that are, because we don't know if this one's connected or not, and let's say it's a rated R horror thriller film and it's in Elseworlds, and so be it. In the same way that clearly The Penguin is a R-rated show, but it's an Elseworlds show.
Yep.
So the question will be, when they do another movie that's rated R but inside of the DCU, are they going to do that and connect? I mean, Marvel's doing it, so why couldn't they do that? So, but getting Flanagan on board is a good idea. He's like the horror guy right now. Everybody raves about the guy. He's like the complete, like, kind of horror legend. So, I think this is a good move. I think it's interesting, but I say the same thing now. Broken record. Just don't spend too much money on it.
Yeah, it'll be hard because what he looks like, though. Don't you think? Like, how do you avoid spending a ton of...
You can spend money on special effects and not make...
And then keep the rest.
Yeah, look, it's casting. It's... if you cast major stars and everything, your budget goes away really fast.
Right.
If you're building up characters and you're building up actors, rather, inside of this, and giving people a start to start their careers, getting one big star in there, you can bring that budget down and still use it on the CGI. I mean, and when I'm talking about a dumbed down budget, I'm talking about something. Look at Kong versus Godzilla as an example, or not Kong versus, the last one that they did, Gods and Monsters, whatever that thing was called.
Yeah.
That movie made a lot of money, Steph, and there's CGI all over the place. It barely cost $100 million to make.
Oh, really?
It's like 110 or something like that. It had it had good actors in it, but Dan Stevens and Rebecca Hall, but it didn't have, like, break your bank talent, and it had, it was what it was, and you can make a movie. I mean, another one is the one that Gareth Edwards did.
I loved this one, the AI movie.
Yeah, that one, the one with
John David Washington.
Yes, John David Washington. That cost $80 million to make, and it looked wonderful.
Yeah, it looked wonderful.
Yeah, so
you talked about this. Has anyone in the States gotten the Godzilla -1 team to work on?
I know that there was talk about them doing, or he expressed interest in Star Wars, but I don't know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the creator was the name of that movie.
Yeah. The creator. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be so. But who do you think? Do you have any ideas of who you'd want to direct something like this?
I don't know enough about it yet. I don't know enough about. Yeah. I mean, you could say Scott Derrickson. You could say, I mean, there's people that you could get to do it, and maybe I don't know how big the budget is. I don't know what kind of tone they're going for. I think that a Clayface kind of horror tragedy could be a $60 million movie. It's like something really creepy that they could do, and so. It's I like that they're going a little outside the box, and where does it tie in? Now, that's the other question, right? Does it tie into Robert Pattinson's Batman in Elseworlds, or does it tie into the Brave and the Bold Batman inside the DCU, or none of the above?
Right.
So there's just more that needs to be I think, to be explained before we can find out a little bit more. But it's more about, okay, they talked about it coming to fruition, and now it looks like it is. So what do you guys think? Do you think this is the way to go? And the more important thing is, do you think that guy was being sarcastic or not? Okay, here we go. All right, here is the question. Will Kraven the Hunter make any money at all?
Oh, no.
Most people say no way. After the dismal failures of Morbius and Madame Web, it was hoped that maybe Sony's Marvel Universe of Spider-Man adjacent films could end up on a high note with Kraven the Hunter opening this week. The pedigree seemed good. R rating, which was more suitable for the material, a solid director in J.C. Chander, and a strong cast including Aaron Taylor Johnson, Russell Crowe, Ariana DeBose, Alessandro Nivola, and Fred Heschinger. Unfortunately, the reviews are in, Steph, and the results are disastrous. Rotten Tomatoes, it sits now at 15%. Gross. Which is on par with Morbius at 15%. 3.8 out of 10. And just above Madam Web at 11%. Yuck. Here's an excerpt of some of the quotes. Kraven is the lumber sexual response to 2004's Catwoman. Ouch. We don't know whether Kraven the Hunter is truly the final bow of the SSMU. It is undoubtedly a self-inflicted kill shot. David Fear. First one was Joseph Robinson. Next one. The real tragedy surrounding Kraven the Hunter isn't that it promises a future that will never be, but it could have allowed itself and the universe to which it belongs to go out with some dignity. Bill Bryant. A clunky, crowded script, muddy visual effects, glaringly obviously ADR, bogging down a promising premise. It's not camp enough to become a cult classic, and it lacks the conviction to carry its most ambitious ideas to the finish line. That's from Livy Scott. Anybody we recognize here? I'm going to see if there's anybody we recognize. Nope. I know that Roca hated it too. The CGI devolves from adorably cartoonish to done as cheaply as possible from a studio trying to cut its losses so fast that it comes dangerously close to Scorpion King territory by the end. Oh my Lord. The movie is so vicious, so bereft of life, in spite of many desperate and quality actors trying to quicken the cadaver with wasted energy, that it eerily resembles the cobbled together emptiness of the worst 2000 superhero time wasters. My Lord, that is just, you know what it reminds me of? That's like somebody saying, hey, do me a favor, stand right there. And then 15 people just start chucking eggs at them.
Oh, no.
Right? Doesn't it seem like,
yeah.
I mean, that was like, I was expecting, like, hey, look, they did what they could do. This was a valiant effort, but it just, it just doesn't work. This is like P-USA.
Right. And Roxy was telling me that before they said this would be the last one they were doing before the movie came out.
Yeah.
Sony. So that's like, not only were they getting 15 eggs thrown at them, they put on a super suit to prepare for the 15 eggs being thrown on them, which is like, damn, like, how did this, I just don't understand. I would love to be a fly in the room for Sony when they're making these movies, because it can't possibly be that all these good filmmakers and great actors are involved in these projects and then like flop after flop after flop occurs. Like, something's happening.
Well, they know now. They know it's over. Prime. So Haskell, our good buddy Haskell, said that Dan Murrell in his review said that after driving 5 hours and sitting in traffic in a city that he doesn't live in, he's rethinking his life choices after seeing that movie.
Oh no.
Brutal.
Oh no. And I was excited. I saw the trailer and I was like, okay.
Yeah, they clearly,
this is fun.
They clearly polished a turd. I still would have liked to have seen it, because I was supposed to see it the other day, but I got sick and I couldn't get into the city and I just couldn't do it. I didn't want to be irresponsible. And I didn't wind up going to see it. And now what I realize is two things with that. One, obviously missed out on putting it up on the channel. Two, now I'm gonna have to pay for it and go see it in the theater. So at least I'll I'll add some money to the
right
to help. But I mean,
I was so close to doing a double header this weekend with Lord of the Rings and Kraven, but I don't know if we're gonna do that.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough one, man. It's like, and what also happened is that they said yesterday, our whole thing that we went with, our main topic that myself and Clark and Sam talked about yesterday on the show was that Sony pretty much said, okay, we throw in the towel, we're done, right? That's because they knew they what's coming. Like,
right.
The fact that when they put out the first 8 minutes or 9 minutes, whatever, they know what's coming. And then the thing is, usually what happens is when they put out the first 8 or 9 minutes, that means they go, hey, we got a good movie. Nobody wants to see it. Let me show you what we got. They put out probably the best 8 or 9 minutes of the whole thing. That's all that they got.
Right. I heard that the first part is really good, and then all of a sudden, or like it's good, and then all of a sudden it just drops off a cliff.
Did Roxy saw it, right?
Yeah, she said that, and she's like me. We're pretty easy to if it's fun, we're enjoying it, and we like most people like Aaron Taylor Johnson, but she was like, woof, woof,
wow.
woof.
She said it was really that bad, huh?
Yeah, like woof.
Yeah, and
she thinks it's worse than all of them.
Wow.
All of them. Morbius.
Wow.
Madam Web.
And
all
she's
of
not,
them.
and like Roxy said it in the show the other day. Roxy doesn't review movies like looking and crunching how the shots are. She judges them off of how they make her feel. And
yes.
And she said that clearly that this made her feel not good.
No, not good. Like she was like, when you're watching it and you're just thinking how bad you feel for everyone involved, but she was like, wow. And then she said that an interesting thing happened where she couldn't tell, because after she felt like everyone was on her same page. Like people were like kind of laughing at how crazy and just wild things looked. And then at the end there was like a thunderous clap. And I don't know if it when
it was over, you mean?
Yes. And I don't know if that was like hell yeah, like we just watched a wolf, or if it was just it worked for that crowd.
I don't know, but either way, you know what I will say? It's funny though, because I feel like Aaron Taylor Johnson he's been in some stinkers before, right? And not even movies like that are stinkers in quality, just stinkers that happen. Like look at the Fall Guy would be classified as a stinker as far as box office goes, because I liked the movie. I liked Fall Guy. Me
too.
It's just, but it ate it. It just didn't do very well. It's another movie he's in. He's in a handful of those that have not done well. But I feel like he's the type of actor that it won't hurt him, and because the flip side of that, he's I mean, I haven't seen him in Kraven to say that he's not fantastic in it, but he's really good in Nosferatu, which is getting good.
Oh,
good.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
He's going to be, it's so funny. I was watching Saturday Night Live with my daughter last night. She was becoming a major fan of that show.
Oh, good. Yeah, she's going to turn into an improv queen.
She loves it. And so we were watching the Paul Mescal episode. Paul Mescal's like a version of Aaron Taylor Johnson meets Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh, that's a good description. I'm obsessed with Paul Mescal. I loved how he was so willing to make fun of himself.
He had a lot of fun. You could tell he did. Yeah, and he clearly was like a little overwhelmed in the beginning, and he was happy to be there, and you could tell. So I enjoyed the performance.
What's interesting is because like it feels like the world views him as like a total smoke show that should be like such a hunk and so confident, but when you watch his interviews, you're like, oh, this is a nerdy theater kid that probably like didn't realize that he's super handsome until, I don't know, maybe Gladiator 2. Like I'm not sure. It's so humble. He's so humble.
Well, and I thought he did a good job for what I saw the good majority of it, but anyway, so I don't even know where
he did better in the recorded sketches.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
The recorded sketches were my favorite for him, which makes sense.
It makes sense.
It's hard.
But that's also you could tell from his monologue, that's not his comfortable spot.
Yeah,
It was this. He's an actor, so you tell him to do, hey, here's the script. This is what we need to do. Okay, great. And he did some other things that I thought really worked. But anyway, so that movie though, not Paul Mescal, it is indeed Aaron Taylor Johnson. And the movie, I think that the saving grace is, as much as I don't want to see a movie eat crap like that. And I don't want and I like Aaron Taylor Johnson and I want to see him do well, but he'll survive. The saving grace though is that they cannot justify doing any more of these. It's over now. It's over. They're going to focus on Spider-Man. They're going to focus on the Spiderverse animated movies, and they're going to stop trying to do this because it ain't working. Nobody cares, and you're doing it wrong. You're not making good movies. So, anyway, what do you guys think? Is anyone in this chat or anyone in the replay going to watch this movie, or are you going to wait for it to come out? Were you even planning to see it before all of this? And then people said, no, I'm good. I'm not going to see it. Put your comments in there. Let me know. We got some more stuff to talk about when we get back from the break. I'm going to tell you about our sponsors of the day, and then we will be back. Hey, Mando. I love Mando, and I've been telling you guys about Mando for a little bit. Like, it's a great deodorant. I love it. It just makes you feel good, and you can put it anywhere. You put it on your pits. You put it on your nuts, anywhere you want. And I wasn't sure how Mando would work. I wasn't sure. I had my ones that I liked beforehand, and I was suggested by some people. You got to try it out. I said, all right, I'm going to try it out. And it's created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO is being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It's clinically proven to block odor all day, and it controls odor for up to 72 hours. I love in the morning, I just know it. I see it. It says, oh, there it is. It's my Mando. I know I'm going to be safe. I know people around me are going to be safe. You can choose from a variety of fresh scents. They have bourbon leather, Cloverwood, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, the whole thing. So there's a starter pack for you guys. It comes with the solid stick, cream tube deodorant, all that, and more. You got to head on over there. Link is in the description, and you're going to love it. You can control your body odor anywhere with Shop Mando, and you get $5 off your starter pack, over 40% off with that promo code Kristian at mandopodcast.com/Kristian. Hashtag MandoPod. You guys know the perfect gene. I've told you about the perfect gene, and I love the perfect gene. I don't know. For me, I'm always looking for comfortability, and it's cold right now also, and it is the season for the perfect gene. Stretchy enough for second or even third helpings, soft enough to go full couch potato, and stylish enough to wear every holiday gathering. The perfect jeans are, well, perfect for all your winter activities. Perfect Jean has saved 400,000 men's nuts from suffocating in stiff, uncomfortable jeans, and the number is going up every single day. So I got them, and my wife compliments me on all the time. Another reason that I start really using them a lot, because I like when my wife compliments me. Perfect Jean does not stop there, though. They have t-shirts. They revolutionize the t-shirt. They always have free shipping, exchanges, returns, perfect for the holiday seasons. It is time to finally stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans. Go to theperfectjean.nyc. Our listeners will get 15% off your first order plus free shipping, free returns, free exchanges. Got to use that code BIGTHING15 at checkout. 15% off now for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with the promo code BIGTHING15. You're going to purchase. They're going to ask you where you heard about them. Support our show and tell them that we sent you. F your khakis. Go get the perfect jean. Make sure you are getting the right gift for everybody this holiday season, everybody, because this is some holiday gifting 101. Why you want to drop 2 or 3 Benjamins on a cooler that's going to get some of the time when you can spend a fraction of that cost on a bidet that your whole household will use all the time. I'm telling you, I swear by these things. A household full of holiday guests is a beautiful thing until you realize that they're all endlessly wiping their butts in your bathroom. Hey-oh. That's right. Give your toilet a fighting chance and install a Tushy bidet. And my favorite part about it is I'm to be honest, I feel classy using it. I feel like, oh, wait a minute, I'm not an animal anymore. Wiping my rear end with Tushy paper that's hurting my butt. I just feel so much better than traditional toilet paper. I feel better, I feel cleaner. It's so much easier to install. It was a lot easier because I don't install things well, but I installed this one well. And right now, the Tushy Bidet is dropping deep discounts on bidet life essentials that'll transform your bathroom habits and your butt for life. Now is the time to back away from boring gifts and dirty habits to save on luxury lifestyles upgrade that you're going to use every day. So you visit HelloTushy.com to see this week's saving on bidets, bundles, and install it today. You go to HelloTushy.com/bigthing and grab your deal before it's gone. And don't forget to give us a shout out while you're there. Give the gift of practical luxury that benefits everyone in your household. Go to HelloTushy.com/bigthing for the best gift this holiday season. Tushy. Mando, Tushy, Perfect Jean. I just gave you 3 holiday gifts just like that. You want to help out our show? Go in there. Get something. I know Ed Haskell's going in there and buying some stuff for gifts. He's like, I need holiday gifts. That's what he's doing. He's going and he's using one of our codes. Right, Ed? Okay. Steph, we got more stuff. Were you a big Grinch? Not the original, but were you
obsessed?
You were the Jim Carrey Grinch fan?
It's my favorite Christmas movie.
Is it really? Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Well, then this story I think you might like, might not like. Jim Carrey on the Grinch returning and unretiring. Though he's mostly retired from films, Jim Carrey is about to return to screen with a dual villain role in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Speaking with comicbook.com to promote the project, he was asked if there was one character from his career that he loved the opportunity to play again. His answer, the Grinch. Carrey played the title character in Ron Howard's 2000 Christmas film. Wow, that movie's almost 24 years old. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The film ended up making $346 million worldwide off mixed reviews. It was the highest grossing film of 2000 domestically. Carrey famously had to endure the makeup for the Grinch 100 times, a process that initially took 8.5 hours each time, and which Carrey said he was akin to being buried alive. Brian Grazer ended up hiring a man who teaches CIA operatives how to endure torture to help get Carrey through the movie. Carrey understandably says that he wouldn't mind doing it again if the makeup could be done digitally. Oh, man, gosh, if we could figure out the Grinch, the thing about it is on the day I do that with a ton of makeup and could hardly breathe. It was an extremely excruciating process. The children were in my mind all the time. It's for the kids, it's for the kids, it's for the kids. And now with motion capture and things like that, it could be free to do. I could be free to do other things. Anything is possible in this world. Carrey was also asked about those retirement plans, and it seemed like they're not as set in stone as expected. You can't be definite about these things. I said I'd like to retire, but I think I was talking more about power resting. Because as soon as a good idea comes your way or a group of people you really enjoy working with, things tend to change. Comments come as early reactions to Sonic the Hedgehog 3 went online yesterday and praised the film as the best entry so far. The film opens in cinemas on December 20th, and Paramount has today released some themed Christmas film poster homages and a Rankin-based style short film to promote the film. Okay, so let's start with the idea. I want to start with the retirement thing. It's one of these things that annoys me the most about directors and actors. You can't. It's not like another like a you're a police officer or you've been working. I'm retired. Are you really though? It's like no, you're not. If look, and Gene Hackman says he's retiring. I believe him. He's late 80s, whatever he is. Okay, he's retiring. I believe it. 55-year-old man says he's retiring. Quentin Tarantino says he's retiring. No, you're not. I think he summed it up well. He said, you know what it means is like, I'm just taking a power nap. And then if something big comes up, I might just sit on the sidelines for as long as I want. And then if something big comes up, then I'll do it. Don't say you're retiring. And the same thing, there is no world where Quentin Tarantino is going to retire within the next 15 years. There's no world. If you cut his fingers off, blood won't come out. Film would drop out of his hands. The guy, he wouldn't know what to do with himself. There's no world where, so stop saying that. Like Daniel Day-Lewis, okay, I believe it. But even with him, I hear he's coming back too.
Yeah, he's coming back for his sons.
Right. So you're not retired.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. I've been over people saying they're retired since Jay-Z. That was the first I can remember. That was a big, big thing.
I'm retiring. He should retire.
What?
Jay-Z.
Yeah. I think it's time to let it go now.
Yeah.
Too much heat. And I think it's weird. Like as an artist, we don't have a retirement because art is like the gift of a job where it's a passion first. I mean, I'm sure for some people, there's parts of the industry. What I like about Jim Carrey's quote is that, of course, you get wrapped up into the power plays and what's going to gross the most and what's the biggest movie for your career. And I like that he's being just I'll do what feels good, who I want to work with, what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And Sonic is the best representation of that because it's random. I mean, it's a huge franchise, but it is Jim Carrey's coming back for Sonic and then again and again and again. It's obviously he loves the character and he loves the group working on it.
It's the most. So I just recently rewatched. Hadn't seen a lot of the first one, and I rewatched it. We did one on the channel with my friend Tina, who had never seen it. It's the most classic Jim Carrey that we've gotten in a long time, to where to me, the best Jim Carrey is where he uses all those talents, but he really furthers the story. And it's not just, hey, look at the spotlight. It's me, Jim Carrey. Clearly he's a spotlight performer. He is. He's a spotlight performer. And when he's on, it's you have to watch him. But it's like, okay, are you just doing a thing here because it's just you kind of going off the map and being all wild, or is it you actually being able to do that and move the story along? And I think he does that brilliantly in the Sonic movies. It's actually why I think that, because if you watch his interviews, he's a very a kind of eccentric dude, right? And he's like, it's why to this day, my two favorite performances from him are Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and,
so good.
And Truman Show. Like, those are my two favorite performances of him. Like, I have a lot of comedic performances that I enjoy of his, but those are the two movies that I think his talent really shines the brightest, because he's asked to just do what he has to do and further the story.
Right. Yeah. He has such an interesting catalog because he is so just, I mean, he's the most similar to Robin Williams I think we'll ever get in terms of that sort of insane comedic range, but then can play very serious roles too sometimes. And you're like, what?
You know who's really good dramatically?
Who?
Adam Sandler.
He is.
Adam
he is,
Sandler
but he's
is
not
really...
as character driven as those two. He's
in
more
drama?
just like the. In what?
In drama?
No. In his comedic performances.
I don't know. I mean, he's done a lot of different comedies back and forth. I would put Sandler's dramatic skills up against Carrey's. I don't know if I put him up against Williams.
Yeah, I hear you. I think that's like a valid argument.
Yeah.
You think of all the characters he has, they are really crazy and insane. The body movement of Jim Carrey is
sure physical wise.
Yeah.
If you're talking about physical comedians, then Robin Williams, Jim Carrey. I mean, Adam Sandler was less of. I mean, he did physical stuff and Happy Gilmore with the fights and things of that nature. But no, with the body movements and the gummy face and all that kind of stuff. Sure, but your point is still super valid that all three of them are just can transfer over that way.
Yeah, but I was watching Sonic because we wanted to watch the third one, and we were like both so like, oh, I miss Jim Carrey. He's carrying this movie, because a lot of the parts are like fine, but when he comes on screen, you're like, oh, this is so fun. This is a really fun movie.
Yeah, well, so then that brings us to the fact of his comments about the Grinch, right? So,
oh yeah.
The Grinch, he makes, again, I think valid points where at first when he was going, oh, I could just do CGI and motion capture. And at first I'm like, but that'll look horrible. I'm like, well, not necessarily. I mean, you look how great the freaking apes look, And so if you did something along those lines and you actually did him in the performance capture more so than the motion capture, I'd be up for that. And I also don't, because you hear horror stories of how he was because of the 8 hours of makeup. So you don't want to put anybody through that again.
I was shocked to see this statement by him because I thought we would just never, because it's so well known about how grueling this experience was for him and basically everyone on set. But I don't know. I don't feel like they need to make. If they find a way, I'll obviously watch it. I just feel like the story was complete, and I would have to be like, what's the story to force this forward in that way?
Yeah, I mean, well, and it's also a matter, I think I'd like to see Ron Howard come back, but we're also talking about 24 years removed, and by that time they make it would be 26, 27 years removed. So would they still want to do it? I mean, clearly Jim Carrey would still be able to do it physically and everything too. When you look at the Sonic movies, he'd be able to do it. So anyway, what do you guys think? Is that something you'd want to see? Do you care? Do you not want to care? Did you like the animated movie better than live action? Do they have to make everything live action? Let's not talk about that anymore. Tangled, getting a live action movie. The Greatest Showman director, Michael Gracie, has entered negotiations to direct a live-action adaptation of 2010's animated film Tangled at Disney. The original film was a modern retelling of the classic Rapunzel fairy tale by the Brothers Grimm. Mandy Moore played Rapunzel, a spirited princess with magical golden hair who escapes from her isolated tower from the first time to experience the world, embarking on an adventure with a charming thief by Zachary Levi. She discovers her true identity and faces the dangerous truth about the woman Donna Murphy, who kept her captive. The original grossed over $590 million worldwide and scored an Oscar nomination. Plot details of the live-action version are under wraps. One would guess it's about long hair. No, they didn't write that. But is expected to follow along the lines of the animated version as opposed to some of the other adaptations which subvert the story. Jennifer Caitlin Robinson, Thor: Love and Thunder. Next year's I Know What You Did Last Summer. Pen the most recent draft of the script. Kristen Burr and Lucy Cadita will produce. Gracie recently co-wrote, directed, and produced the Robbie Williams biopic, Better Man, in which the British pop icon is portrayed as a chimpanzee. The film opens on Christmas Day. Okay. Well, it's not fair to do this, but I see Thor: Love and Thunder, and I already go, but it makes sense that they would make a Tangled live. I mean, they're doing Moana, they're doing everything else too. It would make sense.
And Tangled, like Moana, has such a great soundtrack, and it just feels like they're gonna eventually do all the princesses live action, and that's okay. So I'm curious to see how it will play out. Before I saw the Michael Gracie in negotiations, I just thought I can't imagine other people other than John M. Chu directing musicals anymore.
Yeah, right.
He has completely taken over my brain in that category. But yeah, I think it was only a matter of time. The soundtrack's there. It should be decent. The story's there. I can't imagine. I would be curious to see how much they change, if they change at all, because most of the other live action adaptations have been pretty much the same. I guess Snow White is the one that they're saying might be a little bit different than the original story, but all the rest follow beat by beat. So it doesn't seem like there's too much creative input involved.
And that might hurt Snow White, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Maybe it won't. I'm so curious with that one because
me too.
That one's going to prove some stuff overall, right? Because obviously the pushback on that movie is pretty loud, and it's not just people who just want to hate stuff. It really isn't. There's also stuff of people going, okay, enough is enough. Just stop talking about stuff and just do it. And PR has been bad on it, and hasn't looked very good. The dwarves look terrible. But the question is it a good movie? And if it is, if you make a good movie, the loud voices will be silenced fast. Majority of the time. Not always, but majority of the time. If you made a stinker, you're just going to elevate those voices, right? So I'm so curious to see how that movie does. It comes out in March. The other thing, though, is the same reason why I said I think that, like, Moana 2 is not a great movie. I enjoyed it, but it's not a great movie. The reason that I believe that it did very well is because there is nothing to be able to take your kids to see right now. There just isn't. So you're like, I want to take my kids to the movies. So what am I going to see? They have Moana 2 out. All right, let's get everybody in the car. Let's go see it. I feel like Snow White could be that movie also.
For sure.
So there's a possibility that it gets the families in there.
Yeah, and I don't think that those fans, like the little girls and boys and all the little kids, they're not paying attention to the delays, 100%. The press. Like, they don't. Comments, it's Snow White.
They want to see Snow White, and they're not paying attention to what it is. It's like, so yes, if you're Disney, you're hoping that the families are going to get those people in. Stop it. And I'll make the point again. I'm going to make the point again. The reason that Moana 2 did well, the reason why it did well is because you need to go see things with your kids sometimes too. Doesn't mean that not everybody can enjoy it. It means that those kids had something to see. That's the point. And that's the same thing with Snow White. Snow White will have kids in that theater, and you're right, they're not going to be paying attention now. But if it's a good movie, it's a good movie.
Yeah. I will be curious to see, because I'm really worried about what the dwarves look like, and watching a whole movie of that. It's the same thing that we've been talking about the whole show, like with the DC villains,
Clayface.
How am I forget? Clayface,
yeah.
Sandman, Clayface, and with the Grinch, it's like I always have. Most people are pretty apprehensive, but it doesn't mean it hasn't been pulled off. I just think that sometimes when you have like full CGI characters, they can be really not enjoyable to watch for 2 hours. But sometimes it works.
Yep, and we'll see. So, what do you guys think? You think this is going to be something that everybody can check out? Do you think that anybody's going to want to see Tangled? Put your comments in there. Let us know what you think. All right, before we get to the questions, the other thing that came out today, Steph, were the Critics' Choice Awards, the nominations. So I am part of that group. I was happy to see these nominations. And like I said, I think that they're the only ones that really should count. I really do. I think they're the only ones that should count. They get it right every year. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in the damn thing. I'm saying it because I just feel like every year they get it right. And I think they got it right this time. Here's Best Picture: A Complete Unknown, Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Nickel Boys, Sing Sing, The Substance, Wicked. Best Actor: Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet, Complete Unknown, Daniel Craig for Queer, Coleman Domingo, Sing Sing. I said this yesterday. Ray Fiennes for Conclave. That's what I'm going to call him from now on. Hugh Grant, Heretic, and Best Actress: Cynthia Erivo, Wicked. Carla Sofia Gascon, Emilia Perez, Marianne Jean-Baptiste, Hard Truths, Angelina Jolie for Maria, Mikey Madison, Anora, Demi Moore, The Substance, Best Supporting Actor: Yura Borsarov, Anora, Kieran Culkin, Real Pain, Clarence Macklin, Sing Sing, Edward Norton, Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce, The Brutalist, Denzel Washington, Gladiator 2. That's an interesting one, though. That's interesting.
I thought he was going to get those nominations.
Interesting. Best Supporting Actress: Daniel Deadweiler, The Piano Lesson, Ajuan Ellis Taylor, Nickel Boys, Ariana Grande, Wicked, Margaret Qualley, The Substance, Isabella Rossellini, Conclave, Zoe Saldana, Emilia Perez. Best Young Actor, Actress: Ayala Brown, Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, Elliot Hefferman, Blitz, Maisie Stella, My Old Ass, Isaac Wang, Diddy, Aisha Weir, Abigail, Zoe Ziegler, Janet Planet. Best Acting Ensemble: Anora, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Saturday Night, Sing Sing, Wicked. Best Director: Jacques Audiard, Emilia Perez, Sean Baker, Anora, Edward Berger, Conclave, Bradley Corbet, The Brutalist, John M. Chu, Wicked, who was ignored from the Golden Globes, Corley Fargier, The Substance, Ramel Ross, Nickel Boys, and Denis for Dune Part 2, who was ignored at the Golden Globes. Best Original Screenplay: Sean Baker for Anora. You got September 5th, The Brutalist, Real Pain, Substance Challengers. Best Adapted Screenplay: Emilia Perez, Wicked, Sing Sing, Nickel Boys, Conclave, Dune Part 2. Best Cinematography: Nosferatu, Wicked, The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nickel Boys. Best Production Design: Brutalist, Wicked, Conclave, Nosferatu, Gladiator 2, Dune 2. There's a lot of Dune stuff, there's a lot in here. They got it right. There's a couple people got left off here and there, but that's going to always happen. But overall, Steph, I'm telling you, this should be the one that people pay attention to.
Yeah, and I love the young actor category for the Critics' Choice Awards because it's like they don't get the opportunity to really get those most of the time the best actor, best actress nominations, but there's always so many killer young kid performances, and I think that they nailed all the ones that I clocked this year, but especially director. I don't understand the Golden Globes at all with
Dune 2. It's crazy.
And with John M. Chu. That doesn't make... Those are the two movies that people were like, wow, the direction.
Crazy. And so the reason why I also think the Critics' Choice should be the ones, because when the Oscars get the nominations and everything too, there's like... What happens is the actors vote on the actors, the directors vote on the directors. They all inside their own community, they'll vote on it, right? And so you cannot guarantee that all those people have seen all those movies. All the actors haven't seen all the movies. All the directors, they haven't seen all the movies. Critics see everything. They see everything. They have the best knowledge of all this stuff, and I think that they should have the most merit in the industry. I really do. I think the Critics' Choice Award should be the premier one that everyone cares about the most. I know it won't change that because Oscars have that history, because it has that kind of like prestige on it. But I think the Oscars are worthless. I think they're worthless. Except
So what do you think would need to happen? Like 1 year where they kind of up the budget so they have performances, or to get like people's eyes on it, or
maybe,
put it on a streaming platform
it's almost
live.
impossible. It's almost impossible because if it's a matter of just changing the narrative of what's the important one, and everyone's always going to take the Oscars because that's the way it's always been. In the same way, even if a new football league came in, you know, and not like the XFL because that was garbage, but if a new, and it was really good, NFL's never going to change. It's never going to switch over. It's always going to be the NFL, right? And so right now the Oscars are the NFL of the awards series. It's not going to change. So
yeah, but it's interesting because then I feel like it's Golden Globes.
Golden Globes is number 2, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be.
So
you know what I think could change it is that if similar to what you were just talking about, but if because right now they're on, I think it's like CW or whatever they're on, whatever it's on. I think that if somebody put it on there and did a lot of promotion behind it, and like got a really, I mean, because Chelsea Handler hosts it every year, or not every year, but a lot of times, the last couple of times I've been there, she's been the host, and she's good. But I think like putting on like a really big show, putting some money behind it, and doing like look what we're doing this year, and it should be the show. It should be the one. It's the one to me that's the most credible. Because these are people who see everything. They see everything.
Yeah, they just simply see everything, and they don't have to like be sent it all at once. They've been watching them consistently throughout the year.
Yeah. No, and I'm not saying that. Someone's like, let's not act like critics get it right every time either. They certainly don't.
Absolutely not.
Certainly don't. And I've actually talked about that. I actually disagree with the critics most of the time. I said it the other day actually with Roxy. I'm so far removed. I'm in the freaking CCA. I'm in that group. I'm so far removed from the way certain critics look at things and the way they see things. I find myself on the opposite end of it. I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying that because what critics deem is great versus everyone else can vary widely. I couldn't agree with you more. I agree with you. That's not the point though. The point is there are the ones who are seeing the things and that can at least have a knowledge of it to say like, oh, I've seen this, I know that. And I can also tell you from the group, the people that are in it, as I just mentioned before, the directors, you have one kind of in the Oscars, you have one group that's voting on or nominating directors, doing this and then everybody else in the Academy votes for it. Right. But with the critics, there's a lot of range. It's not just the snooty critics. There's a lot of range. Like I mentioned, I'm in it, like Dan Murrell is in it. There's a lot of people. I mean, Roka just got in it recently. There's Wendy Lee is in it. There's so many different people in it. And then you get like the really, like the definition to me of a critic, a Bibiani, who I think just got in recently, Alonso Duralde, like people like that. There's a really big mix. So it's not just the critics that you're thinking of. It's a variety, and they started letting in the YouTube people, and it was a thing at first where they were like, it was, print critics were the end all be all, but that's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right, Steph, we're gonna start. We got right now. You've got to try to beat Clark and Sam with about an hour to go. You got to get 50 more because you're at 20.
Oh my gosh, guys, let's go.
I know you're starting out at 20. But I think you can do it. You got a shot. Me too. It depends. Maybe they can get you over there, but right now you're at 20 and we'll see if we can get you to 70. All right.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, Clark and Sam didn't even beat, they hit like, they were behind Roka. They were like at 57 with like 5 minutes left. And then there was like an onslaught at the end and then they went up beating both.
We got this.
Yeah. Ian Davis, what you have done with this channel is amazing. Oh, thank you, Ian. I have a commute of 1.5 hours every day and you guys make it enjoyable.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's for both of you. If you had an infinite budget, what is the movie that you would make? You know what's funny is that I was thinking about this, I would make a remake of the movie Rad, and not with an infinite budget. You wouldn't need an infinite budget for that. But I actually was thinking about that this morning. I would want to make it centered around like, biking and skating and stuff for today's kids that are doing it. I don't know why they haven't remade Rad. But what about yourself?
I haven't seen that.
Oh yeah, it's a classic 80s movie.
Probably like a really big budget fantasy movie. Because
Yeah.
I feel like when you're like beginning in filmmaker as a writer, you just like, I mean, you can have one of those scripts that's your dream scripts, but you don't really get to make those until, you're pretty massive.
Right.
So
Right.
I think like a big budget fantasy movie.
Yeah, I'd want to do one of those too. Ewok.
Yeah.
I'm still haunted by that 28 years later trailer. Yeah, we didn't really discuss that, but did you watch it, Steph?
Yes.
Did you creep you out?
Yeah, it creeped me out. And I knew that wasn't Cillian Murphy, and people were gaslighting me and being like, "You're wrong."
Yeah, it's not. It's not him.
It's not.
They confirmed it and said it wasn't.
If I am Cillian Murphy, I'm coming for all of you because you guys thought that looked like me. So offensive.
And then Ewok just says, any thoughts on the Critic Choice nominations? Well, we obviously just spoke about that. Yeah. Roman Fedorak. Hey, all. I hope this week is treating you well. Thank you, Roman.
Thank you.
Steph, if you don't mind me saying this, you were embracing the dark side last night, and I'm here for it. All we need is Kristian's palps egging you on. I can't even do it. I can try to do it. It's like, Steph, I can't even do it right now. My voice is so shot. I was like, do it now.
Because you were sick?
I'm still kind of getting over it, but like I tried to do my Mad Hatter the other day. Can't hit it right now. My
voice
it's like, Mata! Can't even do it.
Oh my gosh.
It's taken me out. I can't do a lot of different voices. I wonder if I can.
Mad Hatter after smoking a pack of cigarettes.
That messed me up. I can't even do it just now. What about like Gary Busey? I can try to do.
Okay.
I believe that I can still do a voice here and there because I don't have to hit the higher up. I believe meatballs are made out of cheese. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Mike Joyce. Steph, how many reactions do you film in a day? The Achara? Not Achara. Achara implied on a recent Patreon post that one duo filmed 4 in one day. That seems like a lot.
Never.
No.
They always try lovingly to make me do 3 in a day, and I can't. I cap it. I mean, I'll do 3 if I'm like leaving for 3 weeks, and it's like just to be like get it out there, so I don't have to, because it's an hour drive for me, so I don't have to come in twice. But 2 movies. I mean, like I know it sounds super fun, but it's a lot.
It's a lot. Like we've been doing them here. Look, I wish Sam and I almost did 2 back to back the other day, except we were both tapped out, and I had to get back to my family, I had to get back to hers, and like I don't even half of. I mean, I do like a fraction of what both Real Rejects and those guys do too. So it's like I can only imagine. That's a lot.
It's crazy.
The good news is that we are joined by Captain Penis, and he says,
"Nice.
What is the one movie Brett saw this year?"
Oh my gosh.
Let me see. I'll ask.
Like him. Inside Out 2?
Let me see. In the theater, you mean? Let me ask. Hold on. Hey, Kama, what is the last movie that you saw? I guess in the theater, and then just in general. We'll get that for you. Okay. So we'll find that out for you, Captain Penis. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry.
Captain Penis. 25 is what we're at right now. Good start.
Okay.
25 means you dropped up 5 already. So people are
Let's go.
Trying to get you there. So, all right, next one here. This is Mad Sinister McCall. Love characters that can morph like Mystique and Clayface. If you had that power, who would you be for a day? I'd be Kathleen Kennedy and resign from Disney.
Oh my gosh!
I didn't say that. That's what he said. I didn't say that, but that's a good one. It's a really good one.
I would be Elon Musk, and I would give all my money to various charities and programs.
Okay. Brett's answer is Poor Things and Dune 2. So
how random.
So random. For me, I would be whoever the president is for the day and announce disclosure.
And now, oh my God.
All the UFO files, I'd release them in one day.
Release
them all. Okay, let's see. Next one. A Deadline, I guess, said that it's Pattinson's universe, the Clayface. That's interesting.
Okay, so maybe there is the Penguin tie-in.
That would make sense. Say that name of that show again.
Penguin.
You said Penguin.
Penguin.
Richard Octura. Hey, Kristian. Hey, Steph. Sending one in for Steph. Steph, what are your thoughts on the Skeleton Crew? I fell asleep on episode 3 last night. I just don't I don't feel the excitement for Star Wars like I used to, is what Richard said.
Man, I'm not mad at you. I'm really not mad at you. I'm really enjoying Skeleton Crew. I think the third one's my least favorite of the first 3 that came out. It was still enjoyable, but it is like, I don't know. It got with the owl character. I was like, okay, it's a little.
I didn't even watch it.
Between the owl and the wolf, it's a little too. You guys know I didn't like the wolf on site. I just the wolf pirate is too much going on for me. And then we got this like owl CGI character who it looked good. It was cute, but I think it was just a little too
much.
It was more playful kitty than the previous ones.
Yeah.
And so it's still good, but it is not. I'm not the target audience.
See, you're starting to bail on it already. I had it's so funny because, like I said, I enjoyed watching the first 2, but I haven't even watched the third one yet, and I've had no desire. I've had no desire to rush and go see it, and it's like I couldn't.
There's
imagine.
More Jude Law, which is surprise. Like I thought he was really fun in it, but it is more of like it was super predictable, like we thought.
Is he? So let me guess. This is a spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen it. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm asking stuff. He's not really a Jedi. He's kind of a goofball.
Yeah.
Is that exactly what it is?
He's a pirate.
But he's not. He's pretending he's a Jedi.
He's like, I never said that. You guys just thought that. But I don't know how he is using the force or if it's different.
I'm bored already. I'm bored.
Yeah,
Go Pal. The Carrey series has me intrigued. None of the adaptations I've seen, 76,200 TV, not sure if I saw Chloe Moretz really match the book. Yeah, I mean, look, I'd like to see what he does. Again, Flanagan, he's making all the right moves. So let's see. Go Pal. Carrey's rampage through the town is such a huge part of the story, but everyone leaves it out. I wonder if maybe he won't do it this time, especially if it's a show. If it's a show, you got more time to explore. I still think larger novels and freaking video games should be turned into series. 28, Steph, 28.
Okay.
Simon section. This is the K8 show. If Nolan's next movie is rumored to be inspired by the Blue Thunder movie, today's helicopters are now drones, and if this UAP is neither foreign or U.S., this is the movie for Nolan or Spielberg. Could be, depending on what the ultimate end turns out to be for the series. Top Dog Rig. Dan Merle's review told me all I needed to know about Kraven. Poor guy was questioning his career decisions in the review. How does a studio screw up this bad, not once, not twice, but 3 times? Wrong cooks in the kitchen who think that they have it right and like, oh, you know what? We just did it wrong this time. They don't have the right people. They don't get it. And it's not much of a difference in Lucasfilm. There really isn't. It's like they don't get it. Marvel gets it.
Yeah.
Maybe they're making some bad decisions a couple different times, but they get it overall. I mean, you can't. You look at the first 3 seasons, the first 3 phases. They get it. DC so far, James Gunn gets it. So I don't know. I just think that they just have the wrong people in charge, and it doesn't matter now because they're not going to be just not going to be making those movies anyway. Okay, next thing, we have Mike Joyce. Kristian, got any weird salesman stories recently? Did I have a weird salesman story? What was the weird salesman story?
The one where you answer and you do like go back and forth with them, I think.
Maybe. There was also, remember I had a really bad waiter one time. I'm not sure what Mike Joyce means. No, I don't have any bad salesman stories lately. As Steph said, in New York, there just seems to be just like a lot of upfront people. I haven't had a lot of turds. Top Dog Rig. On the topic of movies, do you really think Juan Soto decided to join the Mets for the extra $5 million, or could it be that he thinks the project there is better? Yankees fans are a bit salty. Look, I will tell you, do I think that the Yankee fans, myself being one, do I think that most Yankee fans are being a little salty right now? Yeah, I do. Do I think it's because it's like, hey, we didn't get our guy back? I thought he was a natural born fit Yankee. I really do. But I'll be honest with you. That's a lot of money to pay to somebody who's going to be in his mid-40s, and you still got a guaranteed contract to pay this guy that kind of money per year. It's like $50 million a year or something. And so let the Mets have him. It's one. I mean, he's made kind of a bunch of goofy plays in the outfield. He's gonna hit some homers for him, and he's gonna bring in some runs, and he's gonna get him to win some games. But he can't pitch the ball. You know what I mean? He can't. He's not pitching. So the Yankees spend that money on some pitching and some other stuff too. So I think he did decide. I think that he's 26 years old or whatever he is. He 100% took it for the extra money, because $5 million is $5 million, an extra $5 million. It's like, I'll give you an extra $5 million. It's not an extra $10. It's $5 million, extra $5. It's a lot of money. So yeah, I understand why people are pissed off, but I don't care. Plus the fact it's easier for me to go to Mets games, and I'll probably be going to the Mets games while probably watching the Yankees on my phone. Let's see. Fascia bruta. I don't know what this means. I'm probably reading something where they're cursing at us. Adoro el tu spetacolo. I don't know. All right.
You just said
that's the most racist thing ever.
I hate your kind.
Something really racist. Simon's section. Hopefully you didn't take that last chat the wrong way. I was getting into that story before when we're interrupted. Any plans on having future conversations with guests like Punisher on this related story? Do I don't think I understand that question. Do you?
No.
Hopefully you didn't take that last chat the wrong way. Which one? What was his last chat that he wrote? Because I don't know what the last one was, Steph.
Neither do I.
I don't know what. Shoot, I'm sorry, Simon. I don't know. I don't really know what you mean there, buddy. Yeah, I'm kind of lost on that one. So he said, I'll try to read it again and see if I can get and see if the chat can explain it to me, because I didn't get it. But let me try it again. Hopefully you didn't take that chat the wrong way. I was getting into that story before we were interrupted. Any plans on having future conversations with guests like Punisher on? Hopefully you didn't take that last chat the wrong way. But Simon wasn't the one who wrote it. I had Thomas Jane on talking about UAPs. So would I have any other? Yeah, I just had a guest on yesterday. But it's all on the Down to Earth channel. Top Dog Rig. Jim and Andy, the great beyond, made me generally despise Jim Carrey. Bless the professional that needs to put up with pretentious actors like him. Do you see that documentary?
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way?
No, I don't. I think he was like in a. I don't know how to describe. I think he was like going through something. I mean, he said that very clearly. I think he was having like an out of body experience, and it was unfortunate for everyone involved, including the families that were so closely tied to the story. But
it was douchey.
I think that can happen with someone like Jim Carrey.
I know, but it was douchey. It was funny. I just saw a clip with Timothy Oliphant, and he was talking about how like acting is easy, and he goes, "Yeah." He's like, "Look," and who was he on with? I can't remember who it was. It was a talk show host, and he's like, "You're saying that acting is easy? Is that what you're saying?" He's like, "They give me the lines, I show up, and I read my lines." And he goes, "Yeah." Jim Carrey, he's like, he's talking about, I was watching that documentary where he's in character and treating everybody horribly and doing this stuff too. And he goes, I watched that movie in character. And he goes, and my character hated the movie. And he goes, my character thought it was very pretentious. It was hilarious.
That's hysterical. I saw it so many years ago. That came out like 4 years ago,
something
right?
like that. Yeah, I was still.
Yeah. And I remember being like, ugh. I don't even know if I finished it because it was kind of uncomfortable. But Jim Carrey has been very open about his mental health. So I don't know. It's like.
It's a tough one.
It's not like he's like, I'm totally normal. You guys should have just accepted that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was very. I mean, you watch it. It's tough.
It's tough. Yeah. It's very cringe.
Jerry Lawler wanted to legitimately kill him. Champ Razor. Clayface is sometimes just a failed actor that is a master of disguise. Hugh Grant in Paddington 2, but more serious in my ideal casting. Also, Penguin's girlfriend in the series had some last name as one. Okay, I mean, look, so I think that it makes a lot more sense now, especially after we heard that particular news that it could be tied to Reeves' world. I like that better, and I like that tone for it. So we'll see all that and more.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. Let's see. And we will get to Fascia Bruta. What do you think of the Critics' Choice Award nominations? Well, we kind of covered those. They look good to me. Also with Anora. Also, congratulations to Substance and Hugh Grant. Grazie, Paziano. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I was really excited about The Substance getting nominations for both the Golden Globes and.
I talked about that movie yesterday. So, did you love that movie?
I loved it.
I liked 2/3. I loved 2/3 of it. I didn't like the end.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was what I was saying with the end with Sam and Clark yesterday. Was that the whole movie felt like a Black Mirror episode, right? And then by the time you get to the end, it just goes so off the walls and bizarre and graphic and kind of like it's like almost like a full on kind of, I don't want to say creature film, but it's like
Cronenberg.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I didn't love it. I didn't love it.
I loved it.
The end.
It was disgusting.
It was gross.
It was really gross,
It was
but
gross.
I just thought that it fit the story
It
really
did.
well.
I don't disagree. Top dog rig. Disney thinking it's less offensive to make the dwarves CGI nightmare fuel than to hire actual people is a testament to what a joke they are. I asked somebody, I said, why didn't they just actually hire dwarves? And everybody said it's because of Peter Dinklage. Did you hear this?
Yeah, I did. You told me this.
I told you this. Okay.
Yeah. I think that no group of people is a monolith, and it's interesting when we turn to one person to kind of be like, this is what the Asian community thinks, and I can't be a speaker for Asian Arab community. There's so many differing views. So of course it's not fully right. And I am curious to hear more of his thoughts on it. That's how he feels. And I can empathize with that, but it is they exist.
Right. And you basically just taken a whole bunch of jobs away from people.
Well, not only that, it's representation. They exist. Yeah. And obviously it's you don't want everyone to think dwarves just are in the mines mining for gold, but it's it's one story. Let's make more.
It's also, to be honest with you, I love Peter Dinklage. It's a bit privileged because he gets to do those roles that he wants to do because he's a freaking very established actor. He's been in a lot of different movies. He's been in a lot of different things. So he's got the ability to do a lot of different things. When these opportunities pop up and they go, well, we don't want to, Peter Dinklage made this point. Let's either do CGI or hire 6-foot dwarves, and it's what are you doing? And that's just, it's just not fair. It's just not fair. Top dog rig. On the topic of the Oscars, Steph, what's your thoughts on Pootie Tang? Have you ever seen that movie?
No,
she's never. I didn't think so. She's a little too young for that. John Kozad, just putting in $1. Thank you, John. Julius Wyatt. Chew shouldn't get Best Director to me. Denis does. I think he should be nominated. If you're going to ask me who I think out of the two, I would say Denis also. But I think that John Chu did a great job directing that movie. I'll tell you that. But this is what the argument people would have made with him being nominated for Part 1 if he was with Dune Part 1. It's not a full movie yet. Wicked Part 1 is not a full movie yet. So I would say Denis over John Chu.
I would be happy with either. Yeah. I just think it should be either, in my opinion, I think it should be either of those two. And for them to not be nominated, at least, is completely batshit
crazy. Joey Pedras, what movie do you wish you would have seen on the big screen? I'll just answer the same question. Dune 1. I was pretty adamant that it was still during COVID era and all that stuff too. And I was so excited that it was a day in release. So I turned off the lights in my old office and in the old studio, Steph, and I shut the door and I watched it in the back by myself on the couch, and I loved it. But I still, I have seen Dune 1 on the big screen, though. I have seen it on the big screen. It released on IMAX before Dune 2, and I saw it with Winston. So I guess I did see it. So I don't know. Maybe it just kind of just took away my answer.
Yeah.
What is there anyone that stands out that you would like to see in the theater?
I know that there's more than I can think of right now, but this year I wish I saw Transformers 1 in theater, which also I don't know why Transformers 1 wasn't nominated for Best Animated. I don't think it should have won, but I think it should have been nominated. Definitely. It was so good.
Because it's Transformers. Oh my God, we can't nominate Transformers.
And then it's I want to see the rest because they all look interesting. I've seen a lot of the ones that were nominated, minus the snail one and one other. But like they always do that for the animated category. They refuse to acknowledge some of like the more popular ones, and then they go for the super in-house kind of more indie projects, which I like, but I just think it's not fair to not include Transformers 1.
I'm going to tell you that I think also, so the best animated feature, one of the ones, and I watched it recently, Wallace and Gromit, which is very sweet.
So
movie.
good.
But I'll tell you also, it's the power of a really good publicist.
Yeah.
The Wallace and Gromit movie there's a publicist that is working on that I'm friends with, right? This is a publicist that knew how good this movie was and has a lot of connections within this world and said, please watch this, check this out, consider this, please. Never once said vote for it, said please consider it, watch this. We are very proud of this movie, and was everywhere. I'm convinced that this publicist helped this movie get nominated. I really am, with the push.
That's cool. Makes sense.
Yeah, which is what the job of a good publicist can do. And
right.
And it's got to be a good movie, obviously, but I think that I really do. I saw the way that he was promoting this and getting it out there to make sure, hey, please check this out, and then it got nominated. Jared Guffey. When will they remake The Last Starfighter? It's going to happen, I think, soon, because they've been talking about it forever. So I don't know. Have you ever seen the original stuff?
No.
Oh, you'd love it. You should watch it. You should rewatch that.
Okay.
One. Mike Joyce. You two should use Letterboxd. It's pretty useful. I don't have time.
I know, Mike, you're such an advocate, and I feel like I want to, but I feel also overwhelmed by how many movies I've missed and just starting now.
Yeah. Roman, support for Steph. I got you back. That's what he said.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you got right now, Steph, you need about 35 more to tie.
Okay, let's just keep going, guys.
I don't know.
I think
we're hitting the end. Al Rensha, Star Wars needs a full reset like DC. It's hard for me to disagree with this. New leaders, yes. New stories, yes. And just make sure scripts are locked in before production. Yes, I have always wanted Knights of the Republic. You will not get Knights of the Republic for as long as Filoni is there. I can guarantee that. What about you, Steph? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Simon Section. Rad. Isn't that a BMX 80s movie? What do you think of BMX Bandits starring Nicole Kidman before the Dead Calm? I didn't know. I've never seen that movie. I didn't even know it existed. My movie would be G-Force, or in the UK Battle of the Planets, or Asian Gotcha Man. It's awesome. I didn't even know there was a BMX movie with Nicole Kidman. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Love to watch that.
What has she not done?
I feel like she's in a movie every other Wednesday.
It's crazy.
And she's always,
I don't even know how whoever's scheduling her is incredible.
And she's always banging younger dudes.
Yeah.
Notice
and
that?
I don't
fault her for it.
She's owning the cougar realm right now.
Every
and
movie, she's banging a younger dude. Mirjam Serenity Moon. Hey, Steph, I really like your headphones.
Thank you.
Let's see. This is from RQMDSMD. Some more support for Steph. Met Bull. What's up, James? Does it ever work out that the Mets haven't made a dumb move? He's a Met fan, obviously. Met Bull. So he's not loving this decision. We'll see. That's a lot of money to spend on a player when you don't have all the tools yet to back him up. So, and they joked about this on Saturday Night Live. Beers now are going to be like $20 a beer for now that he's there, because they're gonna have to pay for it somehow, and the fans are going to take it. So you can't call it a dumb move yet, but it's a lot of money for a lot of years. Top Dog Rig. I really hope that James Gunn's ego allows him to just leave Reeves' Batman movies alone. Let him finish the trilogy. Okay, I'm going to follow this up in a second. People have insane love for what Reeve created, and it shouldn't be messed with, please. So the thing that we heard a while ago was that there is a group of executives who have talked about, we've got to try to convince Gunn and Safran to not do this past this because people are going to be confused, yada, 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 yada. For everything that we hear about Gunn wants to complete this and wants to let Matt Reeves complete this. They're tight, and he respects everything that they're doing over there. So from what we've heard, Gunn has every opportunity, every intention rather of doing, of finishing it up. So I think that he will. And because even when that thing that we heard, like, people can talk about all day long, we want to cancel it. But if Safran and Gunn are like, no, we want to push forward with this. I mean, what'd you hire him for? Tom Gunn, which sitcom family would you love to be your neighbors? Sitcom family? Let's see. Who's the boss? Michelli's and whatever the Bowers.
Or the Sopranos.
You'd want to live next to the Sopranos?
Yeah, I would be friends with them, and then I'd have protection for life.
Tony would be trying to get you in the house every other 10 minutes.
I know. Okay, maybe Modern Family. I love Phil.
He'd also be trying to get you in the house. Top Dog Rig for Steph. I love the headphones.
Thanks.
And then Top Dog Rig. I think that we can get Steph past the number. I don't think so, Top Dog Rig. And the only reason I say that is because we've reached our last question.
Oh my gosh, guys.
So 37. But hey, it was a good run, Steph. It
was better than last week.
It was better than last week.
We can't do another last week, Kristian said.
Maybe what it is also is that, because albeit, well, look, we had a good the topics were decent as far as the main topic, but I think when you and Rocha shattered the record that day, the topic was on it was like something big. It was something, I think, that Star Wars article or whatever it was. So next time we'll get there. But in the meantime, where can the people find you, Steph?
At Steph Sabra and the Whirl Girls.
That's it. So there you go.
That's it.
Thank you guys for being here today. We really appreciate you as always. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Make sure today, if you're not a member of this channel, that you become one, because we're doing a live stream for members only and for patrons. So come check that out. Oh, Steph, they didn't let us go.
Okay.
Pete Parker, maybe they're going to breathe some life into us. Up to 40. Pete Parker, 2288. Does Steph like King Theoden?
Oh my gosh, I know this is such a thing.
Yes.
I think his character is way better in the books, but if you're just going off the movies, when I first watched the movies, he's like not a big he's fine, and he annoys me a little bit, and he ends up having a good ending, but I was shocked to hear how many people are so defensive about him.
Yeah.
Do you have any
Me? I think
ride or die for King Theoden?
I think he's a good king, and I think there's a little. I think that Roxy was a little tough on him at first, where it's like the guy was in a trance for a long time, and was basically taken out of his element from one of a weasel from within. So there was only so much he could do while in this coma.
Right.
So when he got out of the coma, he was trying to get his wits together about him and then
figure it out.
Yeah, and then he finally did. It's like, it's like when you're sick, you don't make the best decisions in the world. You call people out in the chat that don't deserve it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Fascia Bruta. Vi amo amici. Thank you. I said that wrong. Top Dog Rig.
Thank you.
It's not about quantity. It's about quality. That's right. And
okay.
They're not letting you go here, Steph.
All right.
They're not letting you go. AJ Bristol. First time, long time. Thank you, AJ. Serious question here. What would you say is your favorite horse and why?
Such a good question.
Great question. I would say my favorite horse. I mean, I said Black Beauty earlier, or the Black Stallion probably is a good one too.
Yeah, the Italian stallion.
Yeah, Pio Mai is a good one too.
Meg the Stallion. That's the best type of horse.
Do you remember that? Do you remember Meg the Stallion? When I didn't even know that was a real person.
Yes, hysterical.
Didn't even know
that was bad,
person.
Kristian.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I like thoroughbreds too.
Yeah.
I like Kaleidostales, the ones with the furry feet.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to like horses when I was younger. My parents are like, we are not rich, so you can have horse dolls, but you can't.
Horse.
You'll never get a horse. And I was like,
all right. Now look, for now, this is the last one. Marcus Longoni. Excuse me. Any truth, or is it just a rumor to Jay Bailey for Batman? Haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard of that. That would be interesting. I love him, but I don't.
No,
that would be.
Haven't heard that. Oh, I lied. Top Dog Rig, with currently the last question. Steph fighting for her life here. Top Dog Rig. On the topic of Lord of the Rings, what is your favorite food to eat on Christmas Day? So I'm not a big turkey guy, right? Like when it comes to Thanksgiving, I like the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, all that stuff. So I really look forward to Christmas because on Christmas, my wife on Christmas Eve makes baked ziti and like this and this chicken that I love. And then we usually have like a brisket, which I know is traditionally more of like a Jewish dinner, but this brisket that she makes on Christmas Christmas Day is just wonderful. It's so good. So that's my favorite is that brisket.
On Christmas Eve, we do like Middle Eastern Lebanese. So we have like stuffed dolmas and lamb, which is so good.
So and mad I never got a chance to get over to
I know.
House.
And then the next one is Japanese Christmas, where we do sushi and sukiyaki.
You would never, you would never get me out of that. Harry would be like, "Why?" They
would love you. The family, you would fit in perfectly. Like Italians and my family, we go well together.
I would just be like, you would not be able to get me to stop eating.
Yeah, it'd be wonderful. There's always extra. I know, Kristian.
All right, Galaxy Geeks, what's up, Luke? Steph. Who's going to win at the box office? He and I have this little battle going on. He's laughing right now. Mufasa or Sonic 3?
Mufasa.
Sorry, Luke. Fascia Bruta. What are your favorite? I just like to say his name. Fascia Bruta. What are your favorite performances of the year? I'll tell you. There's a lot of them. But I'm so glad that Ariana Grande got a nomination for Best Supporting Actress. I had always been aware of her, obviously. She was brilliant in that movie. She's brilliant.
She was so good.
I thought she was the best thing about the movie.
Cynthia Erivo is the best thing for me.
Everybody says that. Everybody says that. My wife went and watched it, said the same thing. My daughter said the same thing. I think that Ariana Grande stole the show for me.
Well, I mean, that's what makes them pink and green go well together because this is what makes the movie so spectacular. I feel like everyone was so good. But yeah, Cynthia Erivo had my favorite performance of the year, but right under there is Demi Moore.
It's pretty good too. Steph, you're now at 48. We have not.
Okay.
We're ready to pull the plug on this thing, and they said no.
Gotta end strong, guys.
Clip Champ Razor says grandma slice or Neapolitan slice. Ooh, probably Neapolitan slice, but there's some really good. There's a good grandma slice over here. At,
What's a grandma slice?
It's like a really. Google it up. It's but it's like there's a Sicilian element to it, but like they put like there's this one that at this pizzeria right near my house. They do a great grandma slice, and they do an upside down slice. But I think I like the Neapolitan slice. That's for me. That's what I like better. But you got to come. You got to come when you're in New York. I'll take you to a couple good pizza places.
Okay.
Top Dog Rig. Steph, what was your all-time favorite movie to react to?
Maybe Fifth Element.
Oh, it's a good one. Okay.
Or there's like a big action movie that I don't know. I loved reacting to the Fast and Furious 2 franchise because they're just so fun and stupid.
Are you actually going to do this? You're at 49 right now. Are you going to?
Okay.
All you got to do is pull in now 22 from now until we're almost at the end here, but 22, and you can actually win. What a comeback that would be! Top Dog Rig again. Steph, who's your favorite superhero and why?
My favorite superhero. I've never really decided on this. I guess my favorite interpretation of a superhero is probably Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
And then just favorite superhero. I love Superman because my mom loves Superman. So she's the one who introduced me to the nerd world. Surprisingly, you would never know by meeting her, but she's a massive nerd.
That's awesome.
Huge. She was a massive Trekkie, and now she loved the Superman comics. So I
have a good comment here. Let's go, Steph. This show is just so much better without Brett.
Oh my God.
Do you know who wrote that? Brett Sherry.
Brett.
Yeah.
Damn it, Brett! Your self-deprecation.
Yep. Top Dog. He doesn't even show up. He doesn't even pay for the super chat to get that read, you cheap asshole. Top Dog Rig. What is a movie soundtrack you have to listen to at least once a week? I mean, I have you know what I have? There's two things I have. I have two playlists. I have a playlist, just one of them is called Favorite Scores that just plays on a loop. It has a whole bunch of different ones in there that I listen to every week. And then there's one that's just songs from movies. that I put out, so that are actually ones with words and all that stuff too. And I have I'm listening to the Warrior score right now because of rewatching it. So yeah,
I switch off all the time, but right now because it's fall winter, I have like Harry Potter lo-fi on, just like my entire writing sessions, everything. I love the Harry Potter soundtrack for the winter vibes.
Top Dog Rig. What do you want for Christmas? Actually, the last thing I want for Christmas, I actually put in my freaking Amazon list, and I'm probably gonna have to get my my wife or somebody else to get for me. It's the I want to redo this studio, and I have a desk in there. It's like this cool podcasting table that's in there that I'm gonna put in here, because this is like this table was the table that was in here before, and Brett and I were looking at it and we're like, yeah, this could work, but now I want to get rid of it. I actually want to smash it with a hammer. And I'm starting to hate it.
And burn the pieces.
I really hate it. I think I hate it. And
wow.
I hate it. I hate it. I do. I hate it.
Hating an inanimate object.
I hate it. I want because I want this podcast thing. What about you? What do you want for Christmas?
Well, nothing really. I can't get anything, because Jiffy Lube screwed up they broke my car, so we had to buy a new car. So I can't really ask for anything because I got a new car.
That's fair. All right. Mike Joyce, Steph, remind me of your shit purse story. I forgot it.
Oh my God.
What
you
happened?
didn't forget it? You know this story.
I didn't ask you. This is what the super chat asked for.
I know, I'm telling him.
What is
but
it?
you
I know.
Okay. Yes, you do. So I was dating a guy for 4 years. No one ever talked about poop between us.
Oh, right. I remember this story. Yes.
So I always had to organize if I slept over, pooping around when I showered. And I just took a normal poop, nothing crazy, and the toilet didn't flush.
The worst.
And
did you go into a full panic?
Yes, I was. I was actually having a heart attack because
that's like that scene. It's like Dumb and Dumber.
The way I was raised, like being Asian and Middle Eastern, you do not show people certain sides of you publicly. It doesn't matter if my mom never poops in front of my dad ever. They've been married for 40 years. Yeah, no farts. Not we just don't do that. So I was like, I would rather die than ask this man for a plunger or for him to plunge it. So I luckily had my whole tote in there because I was showering, and in the tote there was randomly a God-given plastic bag. So I reached in the toilet and pulled it out like you were picking up dog poop.
Pure panic. Pure
panic.
Oh my God! Did you say I have to go home immediately?
No, Kristian. So I had to pretend like I was going into my car to put away my shower stuff. And so I put the plastic bag, wrap it up with tons of toilet paper, put it in my bag, and walk out like, I'll be right back. And I walked out. This is the first and only time I've ever littered. And I took it out of my bag and fucking chucked that shit so far. Literally.
I would. Oh my God. That's like one of those ones that when you die, like you're gonna have like the videos that like, hey, are there any videos you want deleted from the main server?
Yes.
And it's like you
that story.
You either want that deleted from the main server or you want it featured wherever you go.
Like this is who Steph is. This is what I'm willing to do to preserve my memory.
Pretty good. Faccia Bruta. Ti amo. Thank you. Top Dog Rig. Kristian, have you played that indie game yet? No. I'm trying to find the time to sit down. I'm gonna take the damn Xbox out of the kids' room and just put it up in the main thing. The Indiana Jones game, Steph, it's supposed to be amazing.
Oh, really?
It's supposed to be amazing. I'm gonna probably do it this weekend. I've been wanting to. Top Dog Rig. Steph, what are you looking forward to next year? Are you talking about movies or in general?
Oh, I'm looking forward to getting the hell out of 2024. My last 6 months.
Brutal?
I know I look good, but they were brutal.
Really?
Like, I had the craziest past 6 months I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
So I just am excited for a new year.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Someone asked me here, Same person, Top Dog Rig. What am I looking forward to next year? The same, like, look, I think that it comes down to when you put in, you always want to say that hard work pays off, right? And you always want to make sure that you're doing all all the stuff that you can. I want to make sure there's certain things I want my family to have, and I'm pretty sure that next year I'm hoping that I can, be able to provide some stuff for them. That we can, we already did it by making the move so far. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a stronger 2025. This is GoPal. I'd love Grinch too if they get Taylor Momsen back. Which is that the young girl?
Oh yeah, so. Probably.
What's Fascia Bruta? What's an album and song that you recommend? I would say go old school and go with Jizza. I would go with Liquid Swords. Great album.
New album, I think probably the best rap album of the year is Doechie's Alligator Bites Never Heal. I think she sounds like Outcast, honestly. It's crazy. Yeah, she's so good.
Armada. Question. D's nuts. Yeah, sure, why not?
Nice, for sure, yes.
It's hilarious. The comments, by the way, while you were telling that story are unreal.
Oh God, are they in shambles?
No, it just says it's just I'll just read it. It's insane that couples make a big deal out of this. Where is Brett when you need him? No poop for you.
No, it is insane. It is insane, and I don't like to play gender roles, but I really believe that the man should be like super like, I'm gonna take a shit and just open the conversation. And you know what? I knew Harry was my guy because the first day he just ripped ass and was like literally like that. And he's like, that was a great release. And I'm like, what? Are you like a marketing genius to call your fart a release?
You're a marketing genius. I don't think my wife would agree, but but she still maybe just wants to hold back a little bit. Armada, oh yes, we did that right. So there's other one. It said someone said, "Did you toss it in his garbage?"
Oh my God, I should have, knowing who he is now.
My God, woman, what did you eat? Let nature deal with it. In the neighbor's bushes.
I eat pretty healthy, so it's probably all biodegradable.
Where did she chuck it?
Where did it in land? A bush.
Some poor bastard woke up at a surprise. And then Top Dog Rig. Steph, have you heard the poop knife Reddit story? I don't know.
Oh, I think I did. I think Roxy told. I don't know.
Do you know Top Dog Rig alone? Well, not alone, but you're 8 away from beating Sam and
wow.
Tying. You're 8 away from tying, 9 away from winning, which would be the biggest comeback in the history of this game.
Let's go.
Top Dog Rig. Kristian, do you like living in New York? I love it. I do. I love it. And then Steph says she loves it too.
Yeah, I do.
She thinks it's the best version of me.
You see how good he looks?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Armada. Okay, here's a new one. Bill Burr as Mance or Mance as Bill Burr in a movie. Also, have you listened to Frank Ocean? Yes, I've listened to Frank Ocean.
Of course.
But it's always going to be the actor playing the person, I think, a lot of the times. 100% Burr as Mance. Are you kidding me? What? How is everybody? What's going on? You guys see that latest movie? Is it any good? I can't tell. Who knows? It's great. You guys love La La Land? Who doesn't love La La Land? It's fucking la la la, la la la. You can totally see him doing it. I'm 100%.
Yeah, I love Bill Burr.
Yeah, as Mance. I mean, come on, so good. All right, Jim 1. I'm still mad that Frodo didn't warn Sam that he was leaving forever. It was kind of a dick move.
Well, Sam would have never let him leave.
That's true. He wouldn't have.
He would. Yeah, it had to be done this way.
Yeah. All right. Top Dog Rig. What's the best thing about living in New York? Well, where I live in New York, in the area, I think it's like it's more like suburban area. I love the people here. There's a lot of good places to eat. There's good stuff. My office is not too far away from where I live. The kids have a really good environment. My wife has met a lot of people that she's friends with, and very easy to me to get to the city. I love being in the city when I'm there. I can come back at any time. It's like I think that there's just it just seems like there's a lot more for me to do here. Next one is another super chat. Brett is the greatest thing to ever happen to this channel. That was written by Brett Sheridan, who actually paid.
Love it.
Yeah. RQMD SMD. Some support for Steph.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Shout out RQMD SMD.
Jim 1. How do New Yorkers choose between Jets and Giants? I think it's a thing when it comes to just how you're raised, to be completely honest with you, because I was born in Queens, in Bayside, right? So everyone that I went to school with, majority of them were all Mets fans. But my dad was a New York baseball Giants fan growing up, and when they moved out of New York, he didn't want to root for the Mets. He didn't love the Yankees at the time. He started rooting for the Yankees in the 70s. When like Dave Winfield and all these guys were playing for the team, Thurman Munson, and then he just kind of raised me on the Yankees. So I just became a Yankee fan because I was watching with my dad, and that's kind of how I became a Yankee fan. And I think it's the same thing with Jets and Giants and all that stuff too. It's passed down, I think, generational. Well, majority of the time, there are people who branch off, but that's how I think it is. Mearsum, you both made me laugh so loud at that poop story.
Oh my gosh, guys.
It's a great story. Armada, what's your favorite horse movie? I already said it. Black Stallion. Yeah.
I like Seabiscuit. There's not a lot of great horse stories.
There's some good. Seabiscuit's a good one too, though. That's a good one. All right, let's see. Armada, new Snoop and Dre albums coming tomorrow. Is that true?
Is that true?
Wow. I wonder if that's true.
I'm looking.
Fascia Bruta. Super sticker. And Mearsum says, this is a great podcast. Thank you. Top Dog Rig.
Yeah, I guess it's called Missionary.
Whoa, take it easy. Top Dog Rig. Kristian, do you like any non-American sports? Probably not. I don't think so. I mean, what give me some non-American sport. I don't really watch soccer. I respect it. I don't watch it. What's another non-American sport?
Rugby.
Nope. I mean, does MMA count?
Cricket.
Does MMA count?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
based in America, but it's like this. I mean, the jiu-jitsu and all that stuff doesn't come from America.
Yeah.
So I guess MMA. All right, Steph. Let's see. Oh, Haskell 420 says favorite horse movie, Let It Ride. That's a good one too. It's a good one. I watched that recently too. I'm having a great day. So this is one here. Top Dog Rig. If Steph wins, can we get a Bob Dylan cameo? So Steph, if you win today, then I will do remember that old school Bob Dylan like track I used to play with the Bob Dylan song?
Yeah.
I'll feature you in a single shot and do a Bob Dylan song if you win, okay?
Okay.
Get ready, move, walk in through the door. Here's Steph, she just hit 74. Man, that ain't a lie, that ain't no kind of jive. I was lying, she just hit 75. She's the winner again. Hey, friend, Steph's the winner again. Hey, friend, she's the winner again. That's right, my friend, Steph's the winner again. I don't know how you did that.
Wow!
I don't know how.
Guys, I love you!
We were first of all, we're not done yet. Top Dog Rake says, Kristian, how'd you win so much money betting on MMA? I'll tell you. So do you know this story, Steph?
No.
So when I was working for Silver, and then I quit and I wanted to go off and do my own thing, and I was kind of temping at the time, and I was, I was single and I was doing stand up, and at the time, this was like 2007, right? So MMA or UFC rather was kind of coming up. They had the Ultimate Fighter up on 2005, and they were starting to really kind of push big and get more events. And I was betting on boxing for a bit before that. But boxing is tougher to bet on because boxing, the underdog is usually going to lose in boxing. And in boxing, it's like it's the guy who's got is the better skilled at punching in the head for the most part is going to win. It's faster. You know, you can get lucky, but for the most part, the more skilled guy in the boxing is usually going to win. And you can't really win and pay off through that. But when MMA first started, and it really in that 2007 starting getting really popular in the mainstream, they didn't really know to do the odds that well. And so with the skill that was happening, you could have the grappler going up against the guy who was the heavy underdog, and the grappler, the underdog could win actually every single time. So when I was watching that GSP versus Matt Serra thing, I was watching that whole journey, and I said, GSP's not taking this guy seriously, and this guy wants to win. Like he's really, you listen to him talk, like this guy who takes his career very seriously, and he is determined. And Matt Serra was like a plus 800 or more underdog. And so I bet on him and won a lot of money. And I talked about that. You know, that's how Sarah and I are friends now, because he heard me.
I had no idea. What a friendship origin.
Right, yeah, he heard me talking about him because he's a geek, and he listened to Collider Live, and he heard me talking about that story that I just told you, and then he started talking about it on his show, and then somehow we just connected, and now I produce his show. It's so funny. So that's it. So we're not done, Steph. We're not done. No. I swear to God, if you hit 100 after being, you were ready. I was ready to call you out. I was ready to, you were going to be the last. You were tapping out. Hey, Armada says, can Steph do the Mad Hatter if you can't?
Can you give me a pitch?
I can try. I can't get it right now though. It's like, I can't do it. I can't hit my voice won't allow me to do it. Mustard. I can't do it. I can't do it right now.
Mustard? Do you want some tea?
Mustard? Let's don't be silly. Lemon, that's different. That's different. Come on now, everybody. Let's move to the next one.
That's good.
I was almost there, but
was almost there, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Almost as close as me, but.
Tea time. Move down, move down, move down. Focaccia. I got it. Hold on. What's that over there? Oh, it's shit in the purse.
No.
What? I can't hear. Oh, wrong thing. Sorry. Supposed to make a fart noise. It didn't. Maybe I'll schmoes.
That's what my farts sound like.
The music. Yeah. Sorry about that. What's that sound? Is that the Jabberwocky? Oh, no, it's Steph hiding the shit in the bushes. Okay.
That's not the sound of mine.
No. Wait, hold on. Let's
Mine's sweet jazz.
Wait. I got you. The first, this is not. That's not what we heard.
That's not me.
No. Wait, let's see. Hold on. No.
No.
Closer?
No.
Oh, there, maybe.
Maybe.
Nope. There's a good one coming up. Hold on. Nope.
No.
I think this is the one.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
It's like a hot air balloon.
Yeah.
Top dog rank. Suck at Roka. She wasn't even going after Roka. It's hilarious.
No, I love Roka.
Steve S. Steph, look at Aussie rules footy. It's not rugby.
No? Aussie rules footy. Okay.
Jared Guffey. Watching Battlestar right now, and wow, it's good. It's really good. Did you go back and watch that pilot I was telling you about?
Yes, I did, but the baby happens later. It's like episode 4 or something.
Really?
That's why I was like,
oh, sorry.
What are you I thought I was going crazy. I was like, did I not watch this?
Oh, so
yeah,
maybe,
I think it's like
go back and flashback
3 or something.
Are you sure?
Or maybe I just like I don't know because I went to go watch
the first one. But the first one is 2 hours long.
I thought it was an hour and like. Let me look on my Amazon Prime. That's where I've been watching it.
All right.
I can look at my watch.
Here, ready? In what episode? Let's see. Let's see. In Battlestar Galactica. We're going to find out right now. Okay. All right. So that would be, oh, wow. It's 18th episode of season 2.
Oh my God. He's like, yeah, I looked up what I was like, baby episode. I was like, what the hell? I probably sound like, am I going crazy? Was I drunk watching this? I don't remember anything you're talking about.
Just kidding.
Yeah, it's like where they're like setting up.
Yeah.
Episode one's like they're setting up on a different area.
Oh yeah, you made all that up. I didn't say that.
Okay.
Joey Pedras, what show deserves one more rebooted season? Oh man. Shoot. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I don't really know.
Freaks and Geeks.
Oh yeah, Sam yesterday said that that they wouldn't do it. Nobody would do it.
Damn.
I don't know, but I'm glad that Warrior's going to get a TV show. That's what I want to see, but I'm not sure. Okay, listen. Now we have done it.
Okay.
It's 81. Steph went from you started out at when we started this damn show, or started the question section. You were at, I don't know, I think like 20 questions or something.
Yeah, that's called slow foreplay.
Yeah, well,
and we got to the climax.
Sure did. And and I'll tell you what, man, it's like the fact that you did that, and we were ready to tap out at 2:30.
Mm-hmm.
Impressive. That's that's impressive.
I love you guys. You love me. This is like
that's it.
We got something going here.
So look at this. Now, Steph is in the power seat with 81 questions leading tomorrow. Now, only Coy and Winston can defeat her tomorrow. Can they do it? This is one of those few weeks that Roka took the lead on Monday. Roxy took the lead from him. Clark and Sam took the lead from them. But now Steph is in the power seat with 81 questions. Unbelievable comeback from Steph. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you to Steph. Thank you to all you guys for being here today. What a show it was. And I appreciate it. Again, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Thank you so much. And we'll be back here tomorrow with Winston and Coy. See you guys later. Bye-bye.